Welcome back to the courts here at McKinney, Texas. Alongside Chris Dotson, I am Cannon Port from court number 2 as we have action once again in the gentlemen's 35 to 50 plus 5.0 bracket. Matt Benton stays on the court, and we have newcomer Patrick Russ here. And we are underway. The scoring is also underway, as Patrick Russ is out to an early 3-0 lead. Patrick played earlier on court 1, and we saw Matt Benton last game play Lance Cowart. Lance is also 2-0, and he's awaiting his next opponent.
And you can hear the wind howling again. It hasn't stopped.
It is not going to stop all day. We believe for the rest of the evening we will be dealing with the elements. I'm just glad it's wind and not rain.
That's true. Very true. Electronics and water don't mix very well.
They do not, but the 5-0 level, this is theoretically the highest competition we should be seeing. As Russ gets another point, up 4-0 now. You just see sort of the difference in the serves here versus some of the earlier matches we covered. I mean, the English on it, the speed, and just the absolute precision that you're seeing. Just a head or just a foot above what we've seen so far in the tournament. Nice back and forth going, and
outstanding, yeah, and then just sending them across the court back and forth, and that's kind of what you want to do. Same thing in tennis, you know. Same rule applies there. You just want to make sure that your opponent's out of the way.
When you end up getting your opponent to run back and forth and use all that energy, I mean, that's really the biggest thing you want to look for. A quick 7-0 lead.
Yeah, Russ is really putting it to him.
The referee's walking over. He sees something he doesn't like. Oh, that looks like the tennis ball holder.
Ah, yeah, the wind caught that one again.
Wind's catching everything right now. We have sandbags from our production truck that are sitting on the net so they don't fall over. I mean, this wind is no joke today.
It certainly isn't.
Back underway, and that is a long serve. And Matt will get a chance to go back on serve.
Just a bit on the outside. He tried the corner and missed. Little Bob Uecker reference right there. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Nice, well played by Benton.
And a nice response there to begin his ascension back and try and cut into that deficit as much as he possibly can. It's been it's a different type of game we're watching now. We covered doubles a lot earlier. You get 2 serves, obviously, for your 2 teammates. Singles is just one and done. That'll be a side out, and right back over to Russ. He's looking for one more point to force the switch over. One more point, and they'll take a break and switch sides.
Look at that English on that ball.
And you're just seeing this left and right, and that's another great shot. He's painting it left and right from what he wants. It'll be 8-1. We'll have a changeover real quick. And I mean, at the 5-0 level, and this is a big age gap because it's 35 to 50, but it's there's a plus at the end of that 50, so you can go all the way up as old as you possibly can, I think. But the level of competition we've seen here so far is remarkable. I mean, you're looking at practically a full-on tennis match here with how much they're moving and how many different shots they're playing. But it's been a very fun bracket to watch thus far.
And I don't know about you, Cannon, but I'm getting close to 50, and my knees will just say, yeah, let's not try to play against a 35-year-old right now.
I'm looking at some of these gentlemen that I do believe are well over that are over 50 out here, and they're moving around better than me, a 23-year-old. So I'm thinking the second I get back home, we're going to have to start looking into pickleball, maybe to keep myself young.
That'll do it.
Betting on serve here, and that's a fantastic shot.
Yes, it was. It was well played, very well played.
Score's now 2-8.
He was looking for Russ to come on the inside and just put it to the outside, and that's all she wrote.
If you can move your opponent around like that, you're going to have a pretty decent amount of success at this sport. Nice response there from Patrick.
And you can definitely tell Russ is a tennis player, at least previous tennis player. The footwork, he's coming up to the net. He's not afraid to take those kind of shots.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of what I presume to be former tennis players that have taken pickleball up maybe as a second hobby or maybe as a full-on hobby. And you can see why the footwork, the action with the paddle and the racket is similar. Not a complete, it doesn't all translate, but a lot of it does. And if you get that base work, you're going to be fine. As we stay underway here. And that'll be a point for Matt Benton. He's chipping away here. Only a 5-point deficit now. And not too shabby for Matt Benton. He's responded well. He could have just rolled over and died and let Russ walk to an early or to an easy win, but he's not giving up. And
no, not at all.
That goes into the net for a side out. And we'll get it back to Patrick Russ for service. You can hear the wind howling. I've mentioned it, I can't tell you how many times today, but it's a factor in our broadcast. It's a factor in the game. It's all over the place right now, and that's just going to be a little bit long. You can see what he was trying to do there and just missed it. These matches, as compared to our first match, we had a match between Isaac Gonzalez and that's Cowart. I mean, it went, I would say, 30, 45 minutes. It was just a struggle left and right.
And that was some great body motion by Russ right there. He was headed in one direction, had to completely change his body English to hit that ball and bring it back in, but good job by doing that.
That'll be a point there for Russ. You can tell if you just watch his motions, like you said earlier, former tennis, current tennis player, something like that. But if you just watch how he serves, it's very much a tennis motion. Just a different serve. Obviously, you have to serve below the waist here in pickleball. I'm not sure how long the matches would last if you could serve overhand. Going to the net, and I believe that'll be a 10-3 lead.
I bet you they experimented early on with overhands. Probably was a bad deal.
If people are getting this much English and speed on these serves, as another point with that return from Benton goes long. I mean, I tried it out when we started the other night. It's just, you can get too much on it.
You certainly can.
And with how small these courts are, you just...
That's like taking one to the face with one of those.
I can't imagine how that feels.
Not pleasant.
Sure. I was going to say, not sure I want to try it either.
No, not at all.
All right, as Russ is 3 points away from victory here. Make that 2. Turn just went a little out of the way. I think everyone here was ready to get this moving. We had sort of a start and stop with this bracket. Had a match and then waited around for what felt like half an hour. I think everyone was itching to get back into it. These tournaments, you get here, you play a match, and then you wait around because there's so many different variables going on. But I think these players are here. They just want to get to it.
Oh, certainly. And we're no exception either. We want to definitely call good games, and we definitely want to call some of the best games. And luckily, we're blessed with the best 2 courts in the entire 26-court facility here.
We were very fortunate that we got hooked up with, we've named it Center Court. Courts 1 and 2 here. It's the first thing you see when you walk into the facility, and it's produced some of the better matches I've heard of and seen so far. That one will just go a little long. You can see what he's trying to do. But we've had some great competition here. We had the women's doubles open earlier. We had a couple round-robin brackets yesterday. And right now we're seeing some really good competition.
That was just on the outside right there.
It's picking up speed. It's almost louder than I am.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to bring that one up.
We'll have to bring. This wind has become just a huge factor.
He could have had it right there. Just a tinge over the net there, and that could have been easy.
He's trying to factor in the wind. I mean, as everybody has to now. You just don't know what it's really going to do. I mean, we're playing with what is effectively a wiffle ball. And so...
Nice return there, Benton.
That was a fantastic return.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to take control of this one.
Yes.
This is good for him.
Our table's losing everything that's on top of it.
Yeah. That's a setup right there. Easy.
Fantastic.
Easy score right there.
I mean, you're just seeing these basically paintings. You can read your opponent. When you can read your opponent like that, I mean, and it looks like Matt Ben's going to take a timeout. And it's a good chance to tell you that, this tournament, USA Pickleball, the Mid-South Diamond Regional, has been brought to you by our good friends at Todd's Coffee Roastery. Todd is here. He's playing in this tournament. I believe he got a bronze medal yesterday in mixed doubles. But we are very thankful for their long-lasting support of Southern Sports Network and everything we do, whether it's football or basketball or pickleball or anything else that we do. They've been loyal and just a fantastic brand and one that we're happy to do business with.
And we love local dealers like this. I mean, just to be able to see small businesses flourish, and especially in a setting like this where there's a lot of people that are extremely successful people here that have their own businesses that run it, and be a part of a big community like this. I don't think there's anything better, honestly.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. And now Patrick Russ back on serve, and he's going to try and take his opponent left and right, and this is exactly how it's going.
Yep.
I mean, and now he's got a match point up 14-4, making quick work of Matt Benton. So he will be serving for the match here.
Oh, just right off the net.
Just took it right into the net. You could see what he's trying to do, trying to go backhand with it, and couldn't quite get it there. So Matt Benton will survive to serve another day, and serves it right, and returns it right into the net. And once again, we will have a match point for Patrick Russ.
Now, I've watched Russ. After he hits, he comes right up to the net. Except for that time.
Except for that time. Doesn't matter, though, as Matt Benton will serve it into the net, and it will be a 15-4 final score here on Court 2. And wind and all, we will step aside for a few messages from our sponsors and be back in a little bit with more pickleball coverage here on the Southern Sports Network.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
The College of Education at Northeastern State University prepares educators, mental health providers, and fitness or health professionals. Choose from degrees in elementary, secondary education, special education, health and human performance, psychology, and more.
And after something of a layover and delay, waiting for some competition and a referee to show up, we are back in action on court 2. This time, Lance Cowart, 2-0, taking on Dan Traxler. And
that was a bit of delay. It's brought to you by On Delay Airlines. Always a delay, never on time, on delay.
And Lance's first serve goes into the net. And over to Dan for the first service of his match. This is the men's 35 to 50 plus 5.0 bracket that we are still in, and that was out of bounds, I believe. So Dan Cowart gets on the board first, or Dan Traxler, excuse me. It'd be hard to hear the referee at this point with the wind howling like it is. And that is his change of serve. So 1-0 early on. Let's see what Lance Cowart can do on his service.
No, just right into the net again.
That's becoming more and more common, I feel like, especially with the weather. You're trying to keep it down, trying to go as low as you possibly can, and then you go so low that you hit it right into the net.
Or you hit it high and go right out of the boundary.
Yeah, Dan Cowart, I've seen both of his matches on court 2 today. He's a pretty solid player. I mean, his first match took about 45 minutes. He beat Isaac Gonzalez. In the second match, he took care of it. He's a pretty solid player, as you can see right there. He's doing what he wants right now. And if you can put your opponent, like we said in the last match, if you can put your opponent wherever you want them on the court, then you can put the ball where they're not.
Yeah, Trexler had a great backhand, but body motion carried him off.
Just a great shot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really his bread and butter. He likes to go backhand across court right there, and it's worked to great success for him so far.
He's going to stick with that game plan and put him out on the other side. Well played, well played. And this play is brought to you by Burdick Auto Solutions, voted the best auto repair in the city of McKinney, Texas.
My color commentator, Chris Dotson, joining alongside, also with the ad reads for the afternoon. And 5-1, Lance Cowart has opened up a lead after going down 1-0 early. And then right into the net he goes. Back over to Dan for his service. The wind is still a constant as far as factor goes. It's dying down here and there as Lance puts it into the net for a Dan Traxler point.
Hopefully by tomorrow it'll calm down a little bit. It's supposed to be really windy tonight and kind of pass through, so make it a little easier tomorrow. He's just sending Trexler everywhere but loose.
He's doing a great job with keeping Dan busy. And 5-2 is the score.
And that's out.
That is a long shot. 6-2 now. Turned into a pretty magnificent day. I mean, the sun came out for a little while. I believe I got some sun. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and be a little warm, but other than that, it's been fairly overcast and 60s and 70 degrees. It's been a pretty nice day at the courts of McKinney.
No, I can't complain. Even with the wind, I'm not going to complain.
Now, it adds at least a little bit of circulation.
It certainly does.
Not the textbook Texas spring we're used to.
Right. At 82 degrees and 70% humidity, it could get awfully nasty.
Usually you walk out of your hotel and it sucks the breath out of you and you're ready to go back inside.
Sweat it out.
And Traxler on serve, and just another classic case in point on how Lance Cowart can move his opponents around and just let him do what he wants.
Well, the good news is Trexler will get his steps in today. You know,
he will.
Back and forth, he's going to be good.
He and everyone else that Lance Cowart has played so far. Lance had, it's worth noting, a significant layover. I mean, I think his last match was about an hour ago before this one started. He's been sitting around, getting his water in, just resting. Actually ended up being a side out instead of a point. And another side out. But I mean, that's got to weigh on you a little bit mentally, at least, to get 2 matches in quick succession and then just have to wait around. And it doesn't seem to have impacted his play yet. He's up 7-2.
You know, I think it actually helped his play out, getting that little bit of rest and all.
I can agree with that. I think if you can get the rest in and stay. A little bit of a debate there, but it ended up being a side out. But yeah, if you can get your rest in and stay mentally in check, I mean, probably better than playing 3 or 4 straight matches.
Trying to get a last-minute call, find out what was going on there.
Yeah, I think he thought it was in. It looked into me as well.
Yeah,
but
I thought so too, but we're not the ones making the call today, so. That clearly was out.
That was a clear out, yes.
There's no debating on that one.
And the interesting thing, if you're just joining us, I mean, pickleball is a sport where you call your own outs. The referee is not in charge of that. They are in charge of making sure there's no line infractions in the kitchen. If they see it, they can help you call it, but. And that'll be a point just on the back end line. 8-2, and that'll trigger a side switch. We'll take a quick break real quick and be back with more action here on the Southern Sports Network.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
The College of Education at Northeastern State University prepares educators, mental health providers, and fitness or health professionals. Choose from degrees in elementary, secondary education, special education, health and human performance, psychology, and more.
Welcome back to the courts of Mckinney, Texas. Alongside Chris Johnson, I'm Cannon Poor. 8-2 here in our match right now, and the gentleman's 35-50 plus 5-0. Chris, you're browsing the news over there in pickleball. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm in the Facebook groups, the kitchen. And it looks like the big news right now is that CRBN paddles have been banned in the U.S. Open at the pro level. And there's mention at the amateur level might be following suit soon, too. So for all of you out there that have that type of paddle, you might want to invest into a new one pretty quickly.
Get out of that one. And if you find it on clearance, just go ahead and leave it alone. But back on the court, we hope neither of our players here have that paddle, but it is 10-2. Lance Cowart taking complete control of this match so far. And that'll be another point in favor of Lance.
And add to that also, not to break it into you, but additionally the CRBN paddle is also not allowed at the Midsouth tournament at this one.
Is it not?
No, it is not. So stay tuned for more updates as far as the Paddlegate is concerned here at the Mid-South Diamond Regional Tournament.
We'll have all that and more on Southern Sports Network. Stay tuned. I'm just wondering, I'm curious if it's a material thing or why they banned it, because that seems like a very strange thing to do. As we resume coverage on Court 2, it is 11-2 Lance Cowart over Dan Traxler. Fantastic shot there from Cowart. And he's 3 points away from taking this one as the return ball goes a little farther past Lance over into Court 1. I think the wind helped that one just a little bit. And we'll go retrieve that ball, and we'll have a slight lull in play here for a minute. Chance for both players to catch their breath and reset mentally. But a 10-point margin at the moment with Lance on serve. just another case in point of him being able to put it wherever he needs to. He's 2 points out from winning this match and moving to 3-0 in bracket play, or in round robin play, excuse me. And now he has a match point. Lance Cowart up 14-2.
Just a strong backhand that he's got. Well played by Drexler. Nice.
He staves off elimination for the moment. He'll get a chance to serve and try and cut into this.
And just right out twice there. I'm liking the play. You know, don't call it a comeback, but he's fighting to win.
Just giving it all to the buzzer.
Yeah.
Or to the final point, I guess, in this case. But good to see. And just a fantastic response from Lance Cowart. And that's just what we've seen from him all day. Nothing less than you'd expect. And he's got the service, yet again, for match point. And that'll be
right there.
15-3 the final score. Lance Cowart beats Dan Drexler, and in a convincing fashion. Well, we'll step aside for the time being and be back in a little bit with more pickleball coverage from the 2022 USA Pickleball Mid-South Diamond Regional presented by Todd's Coffee Roasters. Stick with us.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
The College of Education at Northeastern State University prepares educators, mental health providers, and fitness or health professionals. Choose from degrees in elementary, secondary education, special education, health and human performance, psychology, and more.
Welcome back to Court 2. We are still in the men's 35 to 50 plus 5.0 bracket. And this matchup is Russ Patrick and Isaac Gonzalez. I have Chris Dodson alongside me, my co-commentator, my color commentator, that is.
Buenos nachos, everyone.
And we are underway. And the wind heard that we were back underway and decided to show up once again.
You know, it likes to make its introduction to you.
Exactly. You've seen both of these players if you've been tuned into Court 2.
Oh, that was in.
That was a fantastic shot from Isaac Gonzalez. And it appears they call it a side out.
Whoa.
Bit of a controversial call. If we had Hawkeye, I'd challenge that, but we don't have Hawkeye at this tournament, or any pickleball tournament for that matter. This is the highest level of competition that is offered at this pickleball tournament. 5.0 is the highest skill level.
I got some more information on this CRBN Paddlegate story. Breaking news.
Please give us, fill us in here.
Okay, so talking with some of the league officials here locally, it seems like the biggest problem with the type of paddle is the grittiness, and there's a possibility that one or two batches got a little bit more grittier than what was approved, and so this is a possible reaction to that or decision. It's not a final decision. It seems to be more of a preliminary until they get a better handle on it, is what I was told at this point.
So it's an ongoing idea, but it's just a few paddles caused all of them to be pulled for the time being until they can verify which is which.
And Gonzalez pulling a classic Pete Sampras move right there. And he is just, he's got power and he's got placement on that ball. And even with this wind, I'm impressed.
Talking to Steven off the air, our play-by-play for Court 1, he was talking about Isaac being one of the better players in the state. He travels up from Austin for this tournament. He's a PE teacher. And he's apparently one of the best players in the state for pickleball. And his level of skill shows.
Oh, absolutely. Just a little pop out there.
I believe that gets Patrick on the board. We will wait for the official to fill us in on the score, but I believe it is 2-1. Two to 2 is what I believe I heard. With Patrick Russ serving. Another fantastic point.
Oh, yeah. Just on the outside perimeter. I like it.
And this is, I believe I heard, maybe 4-2. Our referees, when they're that far away, it's hard to hear them.
We'll have to get a microphone laid all the way back there. Kind of hard to on that side.
Maybe 2. I can't hear her. I believe she said 2-2 this time.
I had her that time. She did say out.
She said that out.
Yeah, side out.
She said 2-2.
There we go.
So we now have our score correct.
It's not an actual science on this one, but we'll
Yes.
try to keep it as close as possible as we can.
Try and keep the viewer as informed as we possibly can. There we go. She's speaking up now. I believe she heard us.
I did find out some other rules and regulations while I was talking to league officials.
Please fill us in.
I'll get you caught up here in just a moment.
Isaac Gonzalez draws back level.
So one thing that you used to be able to do that you cannot do this year is play it off of the net. So it used to be before they would call it a let, where it would bounce off of the net, and as long as you returned it, then it was okay. But as soon as it hits below that white marker on that net, that's pretty much all she wrote.
So the net is no longer a playable surface then?
That's correct.
Okay. And Isaac Gonzalez going on something of a run here. He's up 5-3. And another point. Reminder, we will switch sides at 8. First person to 8. Does not matter who it is. And I believe we have a timeout from Patrick Russ. Or from Russ Patrick, excuse me.
Certainly do. And, you know, as far as rule and regulations go, we're actually going to have some officials coming on tomorrow, some referees to kind of give us some more insight as far as some of the new rules, some of the common rules, some of the misconceptions, and all the details.
That'll be fantastic. Give me an idea of what I've been saying wrong, and
there you go.
Some insight into, from a referee's perspective, will be very welcome. You don't see that a whole lot on broadcasts, actually.
No, you don't, Cannon. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get you a really colorful one.
Okay.
A really colorful official that's got a good voice and is very entertaining for you tomorrow.
I think I know who you're talking about, and I'm excited to have him sit right by me and fill me in on everything from a referee standpoint. That'll be a fun time.
And the rest of you viewers are just going to have to wait and see what I'm going to pull out of my magic hat.
Tune back in tomorrow for day 3 of the USA Pickleball Mid-South Diamond Regional and see what Chris Dodson has in store.
You just never know with me.
No, you don't. As Isaac Gonzalez scores another one, bring it to 7-3, and that'll be an out, and they'll switch sides. It's been something of a beautiful day here at the courts. You've noticed wind picking up and people are starting to file out. I believe the tournament is winding down for the afternoon. This might be our last bracket. Not our last match, but the last bracket we cover on this court.
I think it is.
But if it is the last bracket for the day, what a bracket to have. It's the 5.0s, like I said. This is the best, and no matter how good or bad any of these 5.0 guys are, they would all smoke me in a match. So
yes, they would.
Every single one of them would. Actually, I'd go ahead and put a bigger sweeping declaration. Every single player we've covered up until yesterday with the 65 and up bracket would smoke me in a match.
True facts.
I'm comfortable in saying that. As Gonzalez goes up 9-3. He's 6 points away from a victory. What a shot from Patrick Russ. Or from Russ Patrick, excuse me.
Beautiful placement right there.
That's the spin, and then it just falls into that kitchen and dies. That's really what you want right there. And then right back with the side out. So no harm, no foul for Isaac Gonzalez. And he's back on serve. That one will go over the boundary and be a side out. So Isaac Gonzalez back on serve. Chance to get to double figures here. It's a fantastic shot down the line right there. I just kind of held my breath for a second to see if it was going to be called out, and it wasn't. It was textbook how you want to do it, by the book. 10-3 now. Another in shot. Oh my goodness. Nice. Two shots in identical places. Let's put Isaac Gonzalez up 11-3. Oh, never mind. I do believe they've called that out.
Oh, no, that looked like it was into me.
Those look like the same shots to me, so.
Yeah. No, that one was out.
Nope, called it a side out.
Side out, okay.
So, a little confusing. I mean, it would be nice to have a referee mic. Or at least have them speak louder, I think is what I would rather have. And nobody can seem to break the deadlock here. Side out after side out, it appears.
Yeah, this wind too, it's a huge factor. We keep harping on that wind, but it is a huge factor today that has changed the way the players have performed today, and it's nothing against the players. I mean, when you get it this high, it's kind of hard to keep it in bounds.
Fantastic overhead finish there from Russ Patrick. Another side out, and we'll go back to Isaac on serve. Fantastic right there from Isaac Gonzalez. He's getting closer and closer and really close out defending, if you will, to bring it to a 7-point lead. And a great response from Russ Patrick. Back and forth we go. This competition seems to be a little bit closer than the score indicates. Isaac Gonzalez went on that early run, and then if you take that out of the equation, it's a very close matchup.
And Gonzalez getting closer to the net, getting close up to the kitchen there after that initial hit. He always comes up. Just a little bit outside there. Try to lean him out to the outer perimeter, and just a little bit too much.
You notice they like to, like you said, Isaac, serves and gets right up to that kitchen area. I mean, that's really the idea. If you can get up there and really make your opponent uncomfortable with how much room they have to respond, then you get that sort of a result.
Yeah, you can get your dink in real quick, and makes it hard to see where they're going to go, and you can read a little bit with somebody's eyes of what they're going to project, but Gonzalez has got his hat close below his brow. You can't read his eyes at all.
No, I think that's probably intentional as well. And we go back and forth on side outs. Let's see here if Russ Patrick can cut into this lead a little bit here and string together a few points.
Oh, nice little dink. Dink and dunk right there.
A little dink over the net and back on service for Isaac. Exactly how you want to do it. He's leading his opponent to where he wants him to be and then putting it where he isn't.
Good response by Patrick.
Just back and forth we go, exchanging side outs.
Oh, right into the net again.
It's another side out, I believe. And we have remained at 11-4 for the last few minutes. Who's going to be able to break the serve? And it's not that time. It'll be at least one more service game.
Right.
Little dink right there and
That's
out of bounds.
Yep.
So we'll exchange side outs again, and Isaac Gonzalez back on serve.
No one's wanting to give this one up. Playing high octane. You know who else is high octane?
Who else?
Oh, well, Todd's Coffee Roastery is high octane. That's some really good octane there for you. Some
What a fantastic segue. Our proud sponsor of the Southern Sports Network. Excuse me. And I would have to agree with you. His coffee is a local roaster, and he is also an avid pickleball player. He's here this week playing with his wife, I believe. But I'd have to agree with you on that. High octane stuff, very good cup of coffee. And if you enjoy your flavors and your depth in your coffee, then look no further than Todd's Coffee Roasters.
Oh, right off that net right there. Well played.
Fantastic play. And that'll be a side out. 12-4 our score. And that'll be a point for Russ Patrick.
He breaks the stalemate right there.
Trying to get ever so close to that, or to cutting that deficit down. That's not going to do it. And then we'll switch back to the other service.
Right back to where we go. And right out to the side.
Side out to side out. I actually just looked over at Stevens' court. In court 1, I saw a between-the-leg shot for the first time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Here's the thing, is I have a hard time myself getting it over the net, period. Now, imagine you're going through, as a great shot by Isaac, imagine you're going through your legs trying to time that up and not, hit anything. That's just an incredible amount of precision. So back to court 2 action.
Ooh, just a little low on that one.
And back to side outs. Seems like we've been at this 12-5 score line for a little bit now.
Well,
that'll be an out.
Well, Cannon, I'll tell you what, out here it's been really gorgeous, not only for that today, but we've had some really good food out here, too, on the food trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was blown away by some of the stuff, the shrimp and grits that we had, the fish, the chicken. They've got a lot of great selections out here, from ice cream to tacos and all. If you haven't been out here so far this weekend, you should treat yourself. Come on out here tomorrow and watch it live.
I have to get some of that ice cream you're talking about. I saw you eating some of that earlier. It looked fantastic. But, yeah, the chicken tenders I had from, I believe it's the Tasted New Orleans truck. It's been fantastic. I had some Thai jerky and sticky rice a little earlier. I mean, it's just all kinds of different stuff you can have. And just adds to it that you're watching some fantastic pickleball coverage, or some fantastic pickleball players out here.
I expect to see some really good competition tomorrow, though. There's a few guys out here and girls that I've seen from last year that have made a return. And I'm looking forward to that competition.
I am as well. I'm looking forward to getting farther. As we go farther into the week, it seems the games and the matches are getting so much better, and higher level of competition, higher level of skill, to where you're almost just playing a match of tennis with how far back they are on these courts. See if Russ Patrick can get something going here on his service. Nope. Right into the net. It has been...
It's been back and forth the same old thing. One of these times, these guys are going to break the stalemate.
Going to have to. Either Patrick to get back into it, or Isaac to close it out. That's not going to get over the net either.
No.
Seems we've hurried up to this scoreline and just forgotten how to score.
Yeah.
That's no dig on them. It could very well just be that they're going back and forth, and their opponent is just as good as they are.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt to it.
And we've got another side out.
Oh, beautiful shot right there.
I mean, you're seeing glimpses of why these guys are 5-0s. And we've been stuck at 12-7 for quite some time now, trying to jinx them into scoring a point.
Yeah, you could have grind some coffee beans and enjoyed yourself a cup of Todd's Brewery.
You know what I think we need to do tomorrow, Chris, is that Stephen and I talked to him for a little while in between broadcasts the other day. He was kind enough to bring us another bag. I think we just need to bring it over here and hook it up to one of the outlets we have and brew some coffee tomorrow.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Keep the energy up. I mean, his coffee is fantastic and, good enough to just drink it black, no cream, no sugar.
That's right.
I think we should do that. And I think there's no better advertisement than people walking by needing some caffeine in the morning and smelling a delicious fresh cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we might have to pay a visit to Wally World after we leave here.
Grab a crusher and well, I really like to drink my coffee with French press.
French press is the best.
I'm snooty, yes.
I agree.
Absolutely.
French press or an AeroPress is what I go with. But, yeah, French press is good.
It's good stuff.
I'm sure we could find one. There's an IKEA here. We could probably find a cheap French press there. You know what? Okay, I'm going to give you a list of things you need to do after you break everything down.
It's going to be a big run.
Exactly. And I'll get Steven back to Frisco. I'll go over to wherever I need to go. We'll get this happening.
Go.
As we go back to the on-court action.
Speaking of happening. Oh, there we go. Got a point for Patrick.
Hey. Russ Patrick.
Closing in on the gap. 9-13 is what we got for the updated score.
We missed a couple of points there talking about getting some French press out here tomorrow. I think we need to we'll get a jet boil. While there's a break on the court, we'll get something to boil water in, and then we'll get a French press, and we'll give out. We're not going to give out cups of coffee. We're going to drink it ourselves, and people can go online and order some of Todd's coffee.
Yeah, we could probably do some free samples. We'll see if we can coerce somebody or hire somebody to come in and kind of help us out.
That's not a bad idea. We're making plans in real time.
That's how we do it here at the Southern Sports Network.
The greatest part too is Todd mentioned yesterday. He brought us a couple bags and he did the grinding himself. They come hold bean or ground, whatever you prefer. I mean, for the sake of convenience, the ground is the way to go. Chris has a bag right here. If 5D television was invented and you could smell it through your monitor right now.
Oh, it is so good.
It's great. Back underway here after the timeout. And that'll be a point for Russ Patrick. And this has become a match here, Chris.
It certainly has. It was Gonzalez's match to lose, but
as the wind picks up one more time to show its ugly face again. As you look behind you as well, some of the courts are wrapping up for the afternoon. It's been nothing short of a lovely afternoon here in McKinney.
It sure has.
Back and forth we go. Oh, great shot by Russ Patrick. There's just sometimes that, I understand the competitive side of me gets frustrated with, your opponent going up on you, but that was just a textbook example of setup and finishing.
No doubt to that. Oh, just couldn't quite get it over the net. It's trying to set him up to get him back on the backside, but not so fast.
Well, Isaac is 2 points away from closing this out if he can get them on this service.
A lot of finesse balls with the backhand. He's coming up to the kitchen.
Oh, what a fantastic finish. Job. What a fantastic finish there from Isaac Gonzalez.
All right.
And we have a match point on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Trying to get that backhand, but you could definitely tell he struggled with getting that underneath there and getting the power that he needed to get over the net.
He had to go down a little too low, it seems.
It did.
And that combined with just the wind in your face, Russ Patrick a chance to stave off elimination here for a second. And there it is. 14-11. Worth noting, you have to win by 2. So If he can get it to 14 all, then we have to go to at least 16.
You know, and this game could go to 20 the way that's been going.
Yes.
So.
Shades of the old John Isner match at Wimbledon that had to go over 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not jinx ourselves on that, but.
Oh. Well, you weren't there for the OSU Tulsa game. I used to do officiating way back in the day for Conference USA, and that was one of the games that they had to change the overtime rules. And they had to also change the weather rules.
Really?
So they had to change both of those rules at the same time back in 2011, I believe.
What was going on?
Well, there was a thunderstorm that kept coming, and it kept rolling in. It kept rolling in. It was delayed, and they finally got it off, I believe, at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Played it till 3, and you talk about everybody exhausted for that one. I mean, it was brutal.
I'm sure that's, for the viewer, though, at home, up late, that's something fun to watch, but I cannot imagine being involved in that and being there.
Oh, fun was an acronym for that night.
I will not ask you to repeat what that acronym stood for.
Oh, and that one goes out.
And this is the closest match we've seen in this bracket thus far, 14-13 right now.
And Patrick, what a comeback.
If Russ Patrick scores one more point, we have to go to at least 16.
Here comes that wind blowing really hard now.
And we are tied at 14. This will be the first match that I have been on coverage with that will go to at least 16.
Yeah.
And Russ Patrick.
The first lead of the day for Russ Patrick.
He was down, I think 7-1 to start. And now he is 1 point away from winning.
Wow.
What an incredible turnaround.
It's been the winds of change.
Fantastic response there from Isaac Gonzalez.
You know, one thing I noticed with Russ Patrick, though, is he has mastered the type of touch, the speed, and the power with almost every shot.
I've noticed that as well. So now Russ Patrick, a chance to close it out. He's on service. And
that's
will.
it.
16-14, your final score. What an incredible comeback from Russ Patrick, and the admiration at the net with him and Isaac Gonzalez is great to see. And that'll wrap it up for this match. For Chris Dotson, I'm Cannon Poor. After these messages, we will be back with more pickleball here from the courts of McKinney on the Southern Sports Network.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
The College of Education at Northeastern State University prepares educators, mental health providers, and fitness or health professionals. Choose from degrees in elementary, secondary education, special education, health and human performance, psychology, and more.
sucking. 16-14? It's 3 times the wind here.
There's no wind last night either.
There was, but not as bad.
Not like this.
Welcome back to Court 2 for what we presume to be our final match of the day, wrapping up here at the courts of McKinney, the 2022 USA Pickleball Mid-South Diamond Regional. This last matchup will be Lance Cowart and Russ Patrick, excuse me.
And we're getting measurement on the net right now, making sure that it's in regulation height here. Very, very special matchup here. We want to make sure everything is within regulation, including all paddles and even nets.
I do believe that while talking off air, Stephen Blackiston, our commentator for Court 1, said that he believes this is for all the marbles, the gold medal match. We will try and verify that for you, but if it really is, then it would make sense. Lance has really blown through all of his competition. Anyways, based on that intro, he starts off with a ball into the net.
You are lucky.
Exactly. It's the commentator's jinx. It's like in football when everyone's like, no way he misses this field goal, and he double dinks it.
Oh, see, there you go.
And there goes Russ Patrick for the first point of the match. So they've all won. I believe Russ has won most of his games, and I know that that Lance has won every game that we've done. So it would make sense that this would be for all the marbles. And
rough start early here.
yeah, rough start. And it is 3-0. Chance for Lance Cowart to get the serve back and try and get on the board here. He's really been dominant all day since we've seen him from the beginning. But, like we said earlier, that he had a long layover. I mean, he's been waiting around for half an hour to an hour now, waiting on his next match. You wonder if that's taking a toll.
He looks a little sluggish out there right now.
He does.
Nice pop back.
Well, he's moving well. Just right into the net, though. And Russ Patrick doing what he wants right now. It's been an absolutely gorgeous day down here in McKinney, Texas. We are just outside of Dallas and at a facility that is unmatched from what I've seen so far. We have about 38 or 40 pickleball courts going at once. Just a fantastic setting for a pickleball tournament.
I think we should start up anew.
Okay.
I think, Cannon, the winner of a gold medal match, you know how we have like a winner in football where they get doused with Gatorade? We should do it with pickle juice. Douse them with pickle juice.
How many jars of great value pickles do I need to go get at Wally World to fill up a Gatorade bucket?
Well, not just no. We won't want to do that. Maybe just like a pony king or a small or a large pickle jar size, right? We don't have to go with the whole thing. I mean, we want to keep it within boundaries. Right?
That's fair.
And you'd have to do it off the court because you don't want to mess up the court.
I was very disappointed to find out that pickles were not at all involved in this, with the exception of there's a pickle juice tent to our left.
How convenient.
Hey, I know your product is for drinking. Would you mind if we just took a couple of your bottles of pickle juice and poured it on someone?
We can make it a promotional. They could be the official pickleball juice supplier.
Exactly.
I like this.
Always thinking from a strategic standpoint. That is Chris Dotson, ladies and gentlemen.
5 steps ahead.
5 steps ahead. And that'll be 5-0 for Russ Patrick.
Speaking of 5 steps ahead, 5 points ahead now.
5 steps, 5 points. This is not the competition we thought it was going to be, thus far at least. We've seen major comebacks. For example, Russ Patrick came back in his last match. He was down, I believe, 7-1 and came back and won 16-14.
Cowart looks like he's just drained out there. I mean, he doesn't look like he's very focused. He's trying, but he just doesn't have that strength to put it over the net. Up until
there he
then.
goes.
All right.
He'll get service back. He'll try and start his comeback at 6-0.
And that one hits the line.
And they're going to call it a side out. It looked like it hit the line from here, too.
Right into it. That's been the MO right now. That's another point for Patrick.
And mind you, at 8 points, we will take a minute break and swap sides.
Oh, look at
behind
that.
the back.
Wow. All right.
And that'll be a side out for Lance Cowart to get the serve back, get a chance to cut into the deficit.
Now, that was a fun volley. I mean,
It was a very fun volley.
I have very seldomly seen something hit it from the back.
Saw behind, through the legs
Yep.
on court one, and I saw behind the back right there.
Yep. But Lance Cowart yet to score a point in this match. And that'll do. Point right there for Patrick, and we're going to swap sides. And what's just been very interesting, as we've seen Lance Cowart be dominant throughout this whole day, and then now Patrick comes back in and scores 8-0.
So now they're going to flip sides, 8-0. It's 8-0, and you know how is there? I mean, is there a path back for Cowart from what we've seen so far?
Well, we've seen a 7-1 with Patrick earlier against Gonzalez. But it just seems like, you know, Cowart's looking exhausted out there. Hopefully, what he really needs, he just needs to go walk across over there to grab some pickle juice. And that could be it.
How did I know that? Yeah.
The muscle cramps will go away. You get rehydrated. Always thinking 5 steps ahead.
Always thinking 5 steps ahead. All right. And that'll be a side out. Chance for Lance Cowart to get back in here.
And it could be just a change inside that all he needs right now. You know, it's going against the wind is always tough.
And that'll be a point. He's on the board. Lance Cowart. 8-1 now. As we are winding down action today. This is day 2 of our coverage.
Oh, good
What a
shot.
shot.
Good shot.
Caught just enough of that because you saw it. I mean, Patrick was in position to take that one back, but he was just enough onto the net to where it just changed up, and it was something that you couldn't adjust for that quickly.
Just couldn't get it over the net, though.
Nope. Side out, and we'll go back over to Russ Patrick. It's really, from what it was this morning, it's really become quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Really kind of relaxed and, right over the net into the kitchen.
Oh, good volley so far.
This is a fantastic, this is why these gentlemen are.
And that's out.
That'll be a point. And Russ Patrick 6 points away from closing out this match. And almost just had it on. He had it on the net and couldn't get it back over.
That net has
side
become
outs.
an issue.
Yeah.
All day that net has been an issue. Lance is taking a timeout. We'll take one with him real quick, you know, with A little bit left here, as we get closer to the end of the day for this one. Our score right now is 9-2, Patrick up.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
The College of Education at Northeastern State University prepares educators, mental health providers, and fitness or health professionals. Choose from degrees in elementary, secondary education, special education, health and human performance, psychology, and more.
And we're back to pickleball action at the 2022 Midsouth Regional Diamond Tournament here in beautiful McKinney, Texas. Been an overcast day, windy, really gusty at times here. And it's somewhat been exhausting on the players with the humidity and everything. But we know one thing is not exhausting is going across the way where they've got a purple bus that has massage chairs, and they are just marvelous.
I will take your word for it. I haven't been over there yet. I'm going to have to get over there. Well, now, if you're Lance Cowart, you're taking one of your timeouts. You got one remaining. You've got to find a way to just start chipping away at this lead before it becomes insurmountable. That is not a great start.
No.
Back-to-back side outs. That's the thing about Russ Patrick here is no matter, even if he gives up a side out, he's got great defensive prowess about him. So he's rarely giving up points behind it.
Yeah, he certainly is.
And that'll be the 10th point of the match for Russ Patrick.
5 away from closing this one out.
5 more points, and the medal count is going to be interesting to say the least.
Absolutely.
Steven texted me a few scenarios. They're a little bit.
That's a side in.
They're a little bit complicated for my brain, but it's going to come down to winning margin, basically.
Okay. So basically, we got to hold off on the pickle juice until we count the points.
Exactly. You got to count the points up. That'll be out of bounds. Back-to-back side outs there, and nobody really wanting to give an inch. Obviously, this is a big match. This is for essentially a medal. You see the wind just kill that.
Yeah, he hesitated for a moment, but he played it smart.
He did.
And he did the right thing right there. You know what else is playing it smart? Finding a great auto mechanic. Burdick Auto Solutions, voted the best auto repair in McKinney, Texas.
If you have a car near McKinney that needs servicing, go ahead and take them on over to our good friends at Burdick. 10-3 our score right now. Lance just trying to chip away at that. That's long.
Yeah.
That's not going to help. Five points away for Russ Patrick. And they're going to call a footfall. That's the first footfall I think I've seen in this bracket.
Yeah, and it's too bad at the worst time too, because that would have been a point.
Yeah, you would have had at least a side out.
No, you're right. That would have been a side out.
Yeah. Would have been a side out, and it would have been some momentum back. That's not going to get over.
Nope.
I believe that'll be a point for Lance.
Cutting into the deficit.
And that is out. That's too long. That's the second serve he sent over. That's just a little bit too long.
11-4 still. And that ball just carries over sometimes, That's a point. That's 12-4 right there. But
saw Lance give the thumbs up. That was just a great shot you can't do anything about. Three points to go here. That won't do it. Side out, and we'll go back over to Lance for his service.
was in, so that's a point. That'll be 13-4.
That'll be a
12-5. I'm sorry. I'm getting exhausted here. It looks like I'm gonna have to get me some pickle juice.
Pickle juice, or anything to pick you up. We got a long day ahead of us, Chris.
Yes, we do.
Gotta wake on up. I'm right there with you, though. Gonna have to get a little bit of a boost here before too long. And now, Russ Patrick back on service. He's 3 points away from winning this.
Ooh,
What a
nice.
fantastic shot. Just a
Great ball placement.
Just a fantastic shot here. And, at this level of pickleball, you see that all the time. It's just been one after another of fantastic shots.
Oh, good ball placement again.
And the lead is down to 6.
Could we see what we saw the last match?
Very well could. I mean, from the first few matches I've watched of Lance Cowart, he is a fantastic pickleball player. If I was going to bet on anybody other than Russ Patrick, I would bet on him to do it.
And that's in.
And there's another one that's in. Lead is shrinking by the minute.
Cowart's been studying Patrick. He's been noticing that Patrick will come up to the kitchen, and he'll just put it his way, just out of reach.
It's one of those in-match adjustments that makes it so impressive, everything he's doing. And then he puts it in the net. 12-7. 3 points are what stand between Russ Patrick and a win. Back-to-back side outs.
Oh, right in.
What a shot.
Just right over the kitchen on that one.
Right over the kitchen, right drop down into the go zone.
That's what I like to call a boiling pot. It's just right in the kitchen, right outside there. Boom. We got some good spices going on with that shot.
Well, you got to give it to him. Lance is not going away easily.
Go Chase! Medals! Yeah.
All right.
Wait to hear this call there, but I believe that was a point for Lance.
I think so. Cutting the deficit to 3. 9-12. Here we are. That was out.
Long shot.
Oh, man, here we go.
We are seeing, could it happen?
Again.
Russ Patrick on one side the first time. Could it be on the other this time?
Oh, just low.
On pause here for a moment. We'll see. What patrons we have left have sort of stopped and are starting to watch this one.
It's definitely a quality one to watch.
It is.
Oh, just on the outside, though.
It'll be a point for Russ Patrick.
I like his approach, though.
Yes. And I believe that's going to be the last timeout, and we will go ahead and step away and take it with him here on the Southern Sports Network.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
The College of Education at Northeastern State University prepares educators, mental health providers, and fitness or health professionals. Choose from degrees in elementary, secondary education, special education, health and human performance, psychology, and more.
Back here at the USA Pickleball Mid-South Diamond Regional. The wind is picking up yet again. What else is new?
Nothing.
Alongside Chris Dotson, I'm Cannon Poor. We have the final match of the day on Court 2, going on 13-12. Russ Patrick over Lance Cowart at the moment. Russ is on serve. That'll be out of bounds. And Russ Patrick is within 1 point. This is match point. And it will not be a match-ending point. Lance Cowart survives another day. Fantastic defense, and you can hear the emotion from Russ Cowart right there. He's been vocal all afternoon. But it's fantastic. It's
as a competitor,
he's very competitive. It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Serving for the match once again. And that'll do it.
That'll do it, yes.
Russ Patrick eats Lance Cowart 15-10 here on the final match of the day. It's been a long day. Started around 10 o'clock on our coverage. It's nearly 6 here in McKinney. Chris, any final thoughts before we sign off for the day?
Well, several. First of all, it was a gorgeous day out to do this. And if you haven't been here, come on out. Do yourself a favor. We've got plenty to choose from around here. Keep you entertained, from vendors and food vendors, the whole works. They'll keep you nice and fed and everything. Got some great entertainment, some awesome matches, especially here at Courts 1 and 2. Massage chairs across the way to keep you going. We've got a chiropractor on site. They even have a lady that's doing deep massage for sports massage out here. And then, of course, you've got my favorite pickle juice right over there, which we need to start this. We need to start this right now.
Get the winner of every medal to get dunked in pickle juice?
Absolutely. I think we're going to start a movement.
We'll talk to Greg about that over there in a minute. But, yeah, it's been a fantastic day. We've had another fun afternoon here in McKinney. And for all of us here at Southern Sports Network, we will see you tomorrow morning. Coverage begins at 10 o'clock. Good night from McKinney.